I'm Stat.
I'm Gib.
I'm Connor.
I'm Bennett.
In today's episode, we have our first ever featured guest and interview. We'll cover some controversial topics in the world of college and high school athletics. This is Cafeteria Conversations.
Ring it. All right, welcome to the studio today, everybody. It looks a little bit different. I'm off camera. If you can't tell, it's this Connor talking, but we have somebody special sitting in Gib's spot today, and I'd love to give an introduction. This man goes by many names. Gib calls him Dad. Some people call him Todd, but we titled him the most dangerous animal to roam the seven seas. Please welcome the Great White.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Honored. It's an honor. Big fan.
We're so honored to have our first guest in the studio. This is really awesome. It's going to be a great experience, I hope. We'll have to get you to sign the door before you leave.
Absolutely.
We've got just a few short questions for you, and I guess I'll kick it off. But what's the greatest lesson you've learned over your career?
Yeah, it's a good question. I was just taking a look at that question, and I think for me, my career has just confirmed that there's no replacement for putting in more time, picking up extra work. The people that I've seen really advance and achieve what they want to in their career, they do the job they want before they actually have that job. And they show people their ability and their initiative. And it's a lesson I learned early, was cultivated by some great mentors of mine. And, just is one I continue to hold on to. Almost 30 years into my career, still put in the extra time. So,
There you go.
yeah.
Got some good experience.
So next one, it's very similar to the last one, but we can turn it. It's greatest lesson you've learned as a dad.
Yeah, I have two kids, daughter, Mary Moss. Shout out Mary Moss.
Shout out Mary Moss.
And then, of course, Gib. I think when you're a father, you have to realize that, especially if you have multiple kids, that they're different, right? And they require a different piece of you at different times. And I think the best lesson I've learned is just to listen. I think your natural inclination as a parent is to tell. And I think if you'll really listen, you can understand what resonates with your kids, and you can also learn a lot yourself. And I think you can start listening as early as when they're 5 or 6 years old. You can start learning what they want, what they respond to, what motivates them, what's the right type of correction. It's the best thing in the world, being a dad. So.
What was Gib's motivation as a kid?
Yeah, Gib was tough as a kid, man.
For
he he had a lot going on, but he
I added life to my years.
Yeah, for sure. I'm thankful that Gib has friends like you guys, because Gib, as you know, will have some, especially Bennett, Gib will have some really interesting ideas that are not worth carrying out. So
but when they work, it's a great time.
he needs some folks to tamp him down a little bit. Gib, it was really I never had to be forceful with Gib. I think he and I's relationship has always been so close that, if I needed to provide correction, it didn't really have to come in a yelling or a strong tone or that sort of thing. It was just, we had such a deep relationship that when I did do that, Gib didn't hear me. But if we, I spent time really talking and listening, he responded much better to that.
For sure.
Because Gib likes to get some words into, as you know. So.
Yeah.
I can't.
Our audience has
Amen to that.
experienced that.
Hey, it took a Great White to get on here.
Yeah. A little transition into the sports world because, we're all big sports guys here. It's what the podcast is based off of. I have a question because I've seen this a little bit over my experience in sports. Why do you think so many kids quit sports early? And I'm defining early as middle to high school age, like late middle, early high school age. I want to know if you think sports as a whole have changed at all since you were that age, or if you think it should be put on the coach's shoulders.
Yeah, sports have changed, right? I played multiple sports growing up, and it's become a point now where I feel like kids and families feel this pressure to specialize, sometimes as early as like 8 and 9 years old,
Yeah.
right? You know, I think about baseball, especially. Like, I mean, kids are playing 100 baseball games or more a year. Some of them at 9, 10 years old,
Yeah.
and you know, they're not just getting to be a kid. You know, I mean, I look around this room, like we made the decision that Gib was gonna go to Camp Seagull. He was gonna go away. And
Hey, great place.
that's right.
I love
And-
Camp
Great
Seagull.
place.
and be a kid and do those things. And I think now there's so much push, and I think a lot of it comes from this, like, parents feel like if my kid takes a fall off or my kid plays, you know, in the marching band in the fall and doesn't play baseball, that somehow they're going to get behind at 10
Yeah.
years old. And then the other piece to that is just there is so much focus on winning at like 8, 9, 10, 11 years
Sure.
old. And
Yep.
I mean, you guys have all played competitive sports. Like, you know, a plaque or a trophy or some fake ring you won when you were 10, like
Yeah.
you don't even remember, right?
Just
But there's
dust bunnies now.
yeah, and so there's less focus on development, getting better. I mean, my goal as a coach when kids were young was I want them to love the game, want to come back and play next season and be better than they were at the start of the season. And like that's what it should be about
Sure.
at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, even 13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
And we've just gotten away from that.
The value of fun. I think that was really important.
Yeah.
My
Yeah, for
grandfather always, win or lose, if I came off the field, court, whatever, was like, did you have fun? That was
That's
always
right.
the first question.
Yeah.
I feel
Winning's
like
a
that's
lot
very
more fun,
valuable.
Yeah. And I
Well, 100%. That's true.
Yeah, I think people kind of lose sight of that. They take winning as an opposite or an antonym of having fun. Like you can only win or you can go for fun. Like
Right.
I feel like it's a myth that there cannot be those two combined, especially at that age.
Yeah, that's right.
For sure.
I was
yeah.
listening to a MLB All Star talk this past week, and he was saying how like when he was 9 and 10 years old, like you play your rec game, and then you go to the stands, and you get you know your orange or your drink after the game. And he's like, now I got parents driving to Atlanta for, you know, their 10-year-old, and he's like, I don't really understand that. He's like, there's no reason for it.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Tom Glavine.
Yeah,
I was talking
yeah,
about
he
that.
was. I
yeah.
mean, it's
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
really no point for it.
Tom Glavine, legit two-sport athlete,
Yeah.
drafted to play in the NHL and pitch for the Braves for many years. So, yeah.
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 Kind of a piggyback question just to wrap that concept up. What age then do you think specialization is okay? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, and I think it's when you get to about 15.
okay.
I really do. Like, and then I think it's even if, like, you got to be honest as a kid and a family that, like, is my kid even good enough at this
Yeah.
sport to specialize?
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know, I mean, and it's different for other sports. I mean, tennis players
Yeah.
obviously specialize very,
Very young.
early on.
Very, very young,
early
yeah.
on. And they
Soon
go
as you start
pros
walking.
so much earlier, you know?
I mean, it's a completely different sort of situation where you know you have to make the top 200 to
Right.
sort of live off your sport, and it's so difficult. And to know at 6 years old that your kid's gonna be able to do that,
Right.
there's no way. And like, I mean, I think it's a massive development question.
yeah.
Like, am I going to sacrifice that much development? Yeah, it's great hand-eye coordination, but there's very little foot and eye coordination. I think that's soccer's great. And, you know, the amount of cardio is very different in comparison to, like, sprinting versus long-distance running. I mean, and just playing multiple sports provides that.
Yeah, and even with that, I mean, I still think you can specialize and play multiple sports for your high school. Like,
Yeah.
you I'm all for kids. Like, you guys all went to a small school. Like,
Yeah, I mean the only
you know,
reason
small schools don't function
Right.
if every
Yeah, 100%.
kids don't play more
right.
sports, you know?
the only reason I had to quit basketball was because we turned into like a national power threat, and I was guarding like Mike Nwoko, who's now at LSU. And, like,
You were going to be the hype man on the bench.
Yeah, I was like either
Yeah.
go to the broadcast table or ride the pine and get brutalized in practice every day. So I was like, I'll hang it up when God tells me to, and this is that moment.
Been there, done that. Mine was Malijal Poteet.
Right.
That's
yeah.
who I had to guard practice. Yeah.
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 I never made the leap to play varsity basketball. I said middle school. I said, yeah, I'm good, guys. So I'll stick to soccer and tennis. Thanks for that. But yeah, we got one more. I think
This is funny. My dad is a legendary coach. Doesn't toot his own horn a lot, but like my dad has coached every age level. He's sent probably 30 to 40 guys to college baseball. He's had probably 5 or 6 get drafted.
Yeah.
He sent 14 girls to Division I college softball. Played 4 years at a Division I, Division II college baseball program. really was offered actually two-sport athlete offered too back in high school to go to Hampden Sydney, where I'm going.
That's right.
For a basketball offer. They played high school basketball against Allen Iverson. That's a pretty fun little shout. But
Pretty sick.
Yeah.
and so he knows a lot about baseball and softball because my sister plays college softball, so I've grown up around it. So I actually know the answer to this question, but I'll let you elaborate on it. And it's, you've watched a lot of these two sports. What's the biggest difference you've seen between these two sports?
Yeah, I mean, with softball, it's the speed.
Yep.
I mean, it's such a fast game. I mean, 60-foot bases, the mound's 43 feet away. Girls are throwing hard. If you hit a two-hopper to the shortstop, you're safe. Or it's at least bang, bang. You know,
Like it's got to be quick transfer.
There's no routine play in softball, right?
Wow.
You know, you hit
Yeah.
a ground ball. You watch a major league game, you hit a ground ball to the shortstop. Those guys can kind of pump it once in the glove and throw across and have plenty of time. You have no time to make. You bobble a ball, the girl's safe. Like it's
Outfielder bobbles the ball is two bags.
it's a double. Like it, you know.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
the speed of it is the difference. And you know, I'm a longtime baseball guy, but softball's super fun to watch.
it's amazing to watch.
because of the speed.
Do you think there's a difference? And I find this interesting because, like, in youth baseball, and I didn't play past 7th grade for baseball, but like 7th grade, it was still at that point for guys like beat it down the line. Like you got to go because somebody could bobble it, and
Sure.
at that
Yeah.
level, it's still going to be. And you know, you'll never see a softball player just sort of jogging down the first base line,
No.
but you see that in baseball.
You do.
Do you think it would put where's the line of pressure from the guy from the batter's box to the first base? Like if the fielder sees them jogging, they're like, okay. Whereas if they beat it down the line every time, is there more pressure there?
Yeah, there's 100% more pressure, right? And it's why you see, I mean, you still notice the guys like, you know, you go watch a high school game or a college game. Most of the time, those guys are still
Sure.
busting it down the line. You know, I think about Coach Pollard, that's at UVA now, and was at Duke. You go to a camp at Duke, he's talking about hard 90s all the time. That's like running down the baseline hard. But in the big leagues, man, like those guys are playing 162 games. If they hit a
Right.
routine ball to the shortstop, they're jogging it out. Like
Right.
they're
Man,
not
each
pulling
other.
a hammy on game 25 of the season. But
Which
it
is what our
definitely
first
puts more
baseman does
pressure
for the Red Sox.
That's right. Yeah.
What did you think about the swing off? I know we're continuing this interview past its point, but what did you think of the swing off?
I
The
loved
All-Star
it.
game.
I loved
Yeah?
it. Yeah, I thought it was a fun way to end it. I think it keeps guys healthy. You know, the last thing you ever want to see is somebody get hurt, throw too much.
Yep.
You know, in an All-Star game. I do think Major League Baseball has the All-Star game right more than any other sport
100%.
Yeah.
because there's stakes on the line. You know, I mean, you win it, you ensure home field advantage in the World Series. Like it matters.
Yeah.
NBA's a joke. Some of those others are, you know, just a joke. And so I thought it was fun, you know, and I loved watching Schwarby walk it off there, man. He was awesome.
That's pretty
I
cool.
like what we talked about the other day, though, taking the home run derby back to 10 outs.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the first round was 4 hours the other day.
Yeah.
But
It's way too long.
an idea that popped into my head before the swing off started, because I didn't really know what the swing off was going to be like, so I didn't know if it was going to be as fun as it was. And I told Dad this idea last night. I think it would be more fun to load the bases and have one out and get position players to pitch.
It's like travel ball ITV. Right?
Like I think that would be super fun to see. You'd have the best hitters
Yeah.
in the country, and you know, I mean, those position players, if they don't want to throw, they could throw. But like, you know, Kike Hernandez has become like a personality
that's
in
true.
baseball.
Yeah.
Because
That's
true.
position-
Yeah.
He's got that little like
The
hat,
helmet,
helmet that
yeah.
he wears. So
Yeah.
like,
He
I
doesn't
just
make
think
the All-Star team, but yeah.
no, he doesn't. Like, you know, if we had like if we had like Ellie De La Cruz up there on the mound, just like pulling down to Schwarby to see if he could hit it, like I think that'd be fun. And you know, it's one out bases
That's
loaded.
going nowhere near the strike zone, but I like
It
the
might,
idea.
it might not. I don't know. He threw a
Would be
dot
fun.
from a cutoff throw the other day.
Oh, yeah, he did. He did. Whenever it's to first base, it's anywhere.
Hey, that's all right. You might be like Tatis, send him to the outfield. But this takes us to our snack of the day, which Pops will join us in.
All right.
Doing a little kid throwback today. I got us some Sunny D, or Kelly Ware Realty Group got us some Sunny D and Cool Ranch Doritos.
Brought to you by Kelly Wirt Realty Group.
All right. Sorry, I'm chewing. I've already tasted our snack.
Cheater.
But like I said, we got Cool Ranch Doritos, classic chip. I remember eating this chip the most on the beach. It was a classic chip that my mom
Ooh.
packed with my like ham dry sandwich. Most of the time, I only ended up eating the Doritos and didn't eat the sandwich. 'Cause God, it was so dry.
Wait, hold on, time out. Did we ever figure out who brought the bad stuffing? Did you hear
yeah, it was
that?
my Aunt Tina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She made stuffing in a bunt cake
It was moist, it was shiny, like that.
and
Okay, anyway, moving on.
Is
Just
there any
wanted to-
truth to Gibbs' story?
Yeah,
Is it
it's
true?
all true.
100% true.
Yeah.
There's some validity there.
Yeah.
All right, so this is how this works. We try it. We talk about tradability, and then we give it a ranking. I
Dorito,
mean-
were the Doritos a thing when you were like in the cafeteria back in the day?
Yes, man. Like,
Okay. I didn't know if you were trading those. Like,
I mean, the logo probably looked different.
day, did you have
we had Doritos.
huh?
We had Doritos.
I forgot
There's
how
only
good
one
that
flavor?
chip is. That's a tremendous chip.
I don't think it's better than nacho cheese though. Nacho cheese is like an all-time Dorito
Nacho
chip.
cheese is my third favorite.
What?
Yeah, I think
the sweet chili. Okay, what's your first then?
Purple one.
Yeah, the sweet chili one
Yeah.
is gas.
So good.
Is gas. That's your number one.
I think it is, dude.
There's
Wash it
no
down
way.
with
The
the Sunny
nacho
D.
cheese is so good.
heard
Yeah, what a
that one.
combo, Gib. Orange
This is
juice
one
with
for
a.
me.
Yeah.
Really?
100%.
That's
Really?
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah. I haven't had these in several years.
That's Sunny D's gas, man.
So is it like supposed to be a combo, or did we just get like Sunny D?
Nah,
or-
we'll
I
just do
I'm
a
trying to hit
drink and
two
a
birds
chip.
with one stone.
Okay, I got
Yeah,
that.
let's keep them individuals. Because like as an orange juice, like if you got the small bottles of Sunny D, where's the tradability there? Like I mean, you could probably get some pretty good stuff
You
for
probably
some Sunny
could.
D.
Probably good.
That's
I don't remember trading drinks a lot though.
no.
So I don't. You know, I was so hot. You know, you're sweating from playing like basketball at recess. So like
Yeah.
first, when I pulled out a drink in my lunchbox, I mean that thing was going down. Like so.
All right, so the Sunny D's not getting traded. You're keeping that sucker. You're not trading it. It's going down quick. But the chips.
Ah, dude, I'd have a hard time trading this. I'd need
It's no shot.
3 first rounders and an all-star, you know?
I used to trade it for.
Need like
Drumstick.
a piece of cake and a hot dog for my Doritos.
Yeah, for
You're gonna have to get the entire lunchbox. Actually,
There used to be this,
here's
like-
the chips. Yeah, I'm taking your entire lunch.
At Stanford, we used to have this like ice cream where it was like crumbled Oreo, and it was like coated around the ice cream, and it was frozen. And I'd trade anything to get those. So I traded some Doritos back in the day for those. But I'll just start it off with the ranking. Since it's my favorite or second favorite Dorito, I'll go 9. And then Sunny
Wow.
D, I'm gonna go with 6.
Dang,
Dang.
that hurts.
Todd, you're next.
I'm at least a 9 on Cool Ranch.
Yeah.
I think I had some last night, actually. Sunny D, my first time in a while. I mean, you know,
Third time only ever.
it's kind of a mix, you know? You feel like you're drinking something fairly healthy, but you're really not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much sugar.
I'm like a 5.
It's got like less bite than regular orange juice.
It does. I agree.
But
That's
like you can tell by that sweetness, it's like, okay, that's probably a lot of sugar.
Right.
Yeah.
it's a little more orange than your regular orange juice. I feel like.
Some orange 26 or
Yeah,
whatever that
some
is.
some artificial orange in there.
I don't know the number. But I'm looking at my ratings here because I have them all saved. I have a hard time putting it below Fruit by the Foot. Like, I think the chips, like, if you give me, nice. If you give me a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos and then the Fruit by the Foot, like, I'd probably take the Doritos.
Really?
So I think it has to be higher than an 8.5.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's close enough to the whole July 4th plate. I'll go like 8.9. Like it's almost a 9,
Yeah.
but 8.9. And then the Sunny D, it's just nostalgic for me. I'll give it an 8.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm. You done munching over there, chip guy?
Get some ASMR going.
I'm trying to see if
mine
I can
too?
get to him.
Oh, I heard it. I
This is my
persevered.
well. So like y'all are saying this is your favorite. This is my third favorite. I like the sweet chili, then the nacho, then the Cool Ranch, and I've just never been a big Cool Ranch guy. Like the sweet chili, I've only been a fan of recently because I was never a spicy food kid, so it would have been my second. So I would have like
Valid.
traded it with nacho cheese if somebody else had, or like I was a big sour cream and onion, like the Lay's.
Lay's
Like
guy,
I would have
okay,
just
yeah.
traded those too. So I'm gonna put it at like we're gonna say like a 7.6.
Okay, that's respectable. Sunny D.
Sunny D, dude. I mean, like there's what?
You said 7.6, and I thought of 6.7.
I
Anyway.
don't get that at all.
It's just some stupid kid. But I
Okay.
thought that when I was doing the Dorito thing right there, you know what movie I watched today? I watched Penguins of Madagascar. And
You
know
were
when
talking
he's-
about that on our movie
Yeah, I
episode.
know. That's why I wanted to watch it. You know when he's sitting there talking to Agent Classified and he's just eating the cheesy doodles. And he's trying to get every word in between each bite.
Yeah.
I'll give it a, I think a 7. 7's good.
There you
Like,
go.
It is up there. But I mean, not my favorite orange juice for sure. All right.
Boom. Here we go. We are headed to the main course, and we're breaking down 3 topics within college basketball that we thought were unique and fun. And our first one has to do with Caitlin Clark. This might have to get cut, but I did want to ask. I think I asked y'all too earlier, but did Dad and Bennett, did y'all see the Shane Gillis, Caitlin Clark joke last night? Oh my God.
Dude,
How many clips have you seen of last night?
A lot.
I've
my
seen
gosh,
several.
It was like a,
He deserves a hearty well done.
yeah, but like it was like a true stand-up comedy show up there. I mean, it was some of this might have crossed the line. But the best part of I told them the best part about all like when he would drop one that wouldn't hit, he'd be like, "Yeah, we should have cut that one." I tried to tell him, and he'd be like, "I didn't write that."
Nothing like throwing it on your riders, just throw it all
gosh,
away.
man,
Like, I didn't write that
Shane
one.
Gillis played football at Elon for
He did for 1 year.
Sure did.
I
love that stat. I think
Yeah,
it's
like
so
a
funny.
semester, I guess.
after he was at the Naval Academy for like 3.5 weeks. But the best one, and I'll just say this, and we'll move on. But the one that I thought was the funniest was when he was like, Brittany Hicks, 4-time WNBA All-Star. And, you know, the whole audience erupts, and he's like, kidding, that's my friend's wife. I knew y'all wouldn't know who she is.
That was awesome.
It's crazy.
But that'll take us into our first question about Caitlin Clark, the legend. Does Caitlin Clark's rise in women's basketball surpass any male player's impact since 2000 in college basketball? I have an opinion.
Wow.
I can kick it off if we want
Wait,
to.
you have an opinion?
Wait,
Sorry. Okay.
Wait, what?
Yes, I do. I will kick us off if nobody else wants to.
Yeah, go ahead.
So there's only one that really comes to mind to surpass this, what Caitlin Clark's done for women's basketball. And she's done a ton. But when it comes to impact within the male player game, I thought this one was different. And I think it's Carmelo Anthony's kind of setting the tone for the one and done era. Especially after the age requirement was set in 2006 and where guys couldn't get drafted out of high school anymore. Since then, there's been about 150 one and dones basically within college basketball since 2006. I think within these, there's been, let me find it, sorry. And 107 of like the 150 have been lottery picks.
Yeah.
So I just think starting, and then especially, I think it hits even harder now because back then we didn't really understand. We didn't, we weren't totally had a grasp of what Carmelo Anthony was doing. I think with Caitlin Clark's change, it's pretty like current and it hit faster, her change to the game, even with her impact in the WNBA with like viewership. But I think now looking at Carmelo Anthony, every good high schooler we see is gone after a year. Like
For sure.
every one of them. I mean, there's not even a doubt. Some people joked with Cooper Flagg, but there was no chance. I mean, he owns part of New Balance. There was no chance he was going to stay another year at Nike school. But I think that's just kind of altered the path of the NBA and just college basketball in general because we don't have as more like, I think it's taken a harder hit on like blue bloods because there's been schools like Carolina and like Duke within recent years who have had some of this one and done stuff, and their teams have not been as good as like the championship teams from, early.
When was the last time
2000s.
Carolina had a one and done?
Drake
be
Powell got drafted.
Drake.
There you
Drake
go.
would have been. Okay,
Drake
Drake
Powell.
would have been the one and done.
Cole
Yeah.
Anthony.
Cole.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Before Drake, it was Cole. Okay.
yeah,
Gotcha.
But even like with, when we just look back at those early 2000s teams where he had like, Tyler Hansborough's teams, like all those guys were what 2-3 year guys at Carolina.
Hansborough was 4.
4 years, right?
That whole starting lineup of the 09 national championship was seen.
Like, don't get me wrong, Tyler Hansborough, phenomenal college basketball player, Carolina all-time leading scorer, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not close.
No.
Right. But like nobody will ever touch his all-time leading score because nobody ever of his caliber is going to play 4 years again.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just, I think it's just changed the game completely.
I agree. I think there's a difference in men's and women's basketball and the difference between a championship. Because I feel like you look at Paige Beckers. Paige possibly stayed. Now, she had injuries, but she possibly stayed to try to get one more championship. or to add like Gino wanted her to stay. And I guarantee you, they were in Cooper's mind. He wanted to stay a year to try to get a national championship. Who doesn't? I mean, at 18 years old, who wants? I mean, everybody wants a national championship. But I think the difference is now just there's too much money at stake. I mean, it's what I feel like in many major league sports, it's just you could get injured. Like that question. Like you have a life of professionalism and ahead of you. And if you continue playing amateur sports, quote unquote, I guess it's not necessarily amateur because they're getting paid now, but like if they continue this.
Paige is getting paid.
Right.
Paige is making a lot of
yes. But before
He was making a lot of money at UConn too.
Yeah.
That's what
Right,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
She was making a ton of. That's why I
Right.
think
There's
women's
incentives
basketball,
to
they're not really
stay.
leaving is because they're making like Caitlin Clark, Paige Buchers, even Angel Reese. They're making more money at LSU, UConn, or Iowa than they are now.
You think so?
If we're talking about the girls that aren't getting these immediate shoe deals like Sabrina Iescu, where she comes out of Oregon and
That's
she
true.
already
Yeah.
has her like third shoe out.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, those girls are making more money in college. I mean, especially I'd say it this way. I think you have Angel Reese, Paige Buchers, and players like Caitlin Clark who are making a lot more money than WNBA players.
Yes.
Well, you
the
can't say
average,
that-
the
right.
average league WNBA
Like
player.
Cooper
yeah.
Flagg is making a lot of money at Duke, but he's not making more than most NBA players.
Yes.
Those three college athlete WNBA players, even probably Juju now at USC,
Yeah,
like they're making
Juju for
more
sure.
money than WNBA players by a landslide.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just say I don't. So I look at these things of like, did you change the game or did you change the profile of the game? I mean, Caitlin Clark first of all, she made women's college basketball relevant to a casual fan.
100%.
You know, you had casual basketball fans, maybe even guys that would exclusively watch men's basketball was all of a sudden watching Iowa.
I mean,
Yeah,
I was,
women's
dude.
college
And
basketball.
on her tear, I was 100% glued to the
Everybody
TV when
was.
Iowa was on.
And then I think it was her style of play, right? Like she's got a little Steph Curry style of play to her with the
Legend.
step back 25-foot threes.
Yeah.
And, and then you watch what she's done. There's obviously been controversy around her and the way she's been treated by other players in the league, which even more personifies like the impact that she's had on
Yeah.
the game. Like it's hard for me to, I think Gibbs' point is really good around Carmelo, but like what she's done for women's basketball, and there will be like more young girls that play basketball because of her.
That's
100%.
It's like, when you guys a few episodes ago were talking, maybe Gibbs, where you're talking about Tiger Woods, and like more people play golf today because of Tiger, right?
100, like Tony Finau, I mean, like
That's right.
inspired
and
by
more people
yeah.
of color play golf because of Tiger Woods, right? So I find a hard time finding a male player in the college basketball world that's had a bigger impact than she's had on the profile of women's basketball.
100%. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I
when
mean-
I look at that question, just the easy answer for me would be yes, she surpasses
100%,
any. And I look at the word impact like the Great White was saying. Like she impacted women's basketball more than any men's player impacted men's basketball, especially at a college level. But even with the stuff and all the publicity, whether good or bad, it's getting at the pro level. Like I think it's an
Yeah,
easy
I mean,
yes
it's
for
the,
me.
yeah. There's no bad press. Any press is good press. I mean, just women's basketball is more talked about now than it has been ever.
For
And I
sure.
just think it's hard to relate somebody's impact on men's basketball because it's always been talked about more.
Yeah.
So I think the Carmelo Anthony take is a good one because, in the limelight of men's basketball, people it wasn't making main media. Women's basketball wasn't making main media. So that had a huge impact on what could be done. And it clearly has. I just think the Great
Yeah.
White made a great point. It's just a different kind of impact.
Right.
Yeah.
And women will now have the opportunity to make more money playing women's basketball because of Caitlin Clark. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to keep going back to Tiger, but the purse for PGA events, Tiger changed that. Like, guys are making way more money today because of that. And, there's constant, I mean, obviously, I'm the father of a female athlete, so it's personal to me, but like, people complain that women don't get paid as much. Well, athletes get paid based on how many people come sit in the arena, right?
Right.
Like it's a
WNBA players-
for-profit
yeah.
business.
WNBA players actually have a higher percentage of revenue. Like they gain a higher percentage of revenue than NBA players do, and that
There's
shows
just
you how
less revenue to
right.
get.
There's less
right,
more.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Like if people went to their games, they would start making more, but they don't. And people come to Caitlin Clark's games,
Right,
which is-
that's true. The
I love
stats
that.
are there.
I love
yeah.
that clip where I think it's the old running back from the Bengals, McCoy, where he's sitting at an interview, and it was after Angel Reese. I'm a known Angel Reese disliker. You can post it on every social media platform. Do not care. And she's talking about how they watch me, and which first of all I just think that's dumb to talk about as an athlete. Like don't talk about yourself. But after that, McCoy's talking about all right, let's watch the viewership. Angel Reese, it's 8,000, 6,000, 4,000, 3,000, 7,000, 7,000, 18,000. Well, who'd they play that day? Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
they're not watching you. They're watching Caitlin Clark.
That's right.
And it's okay to say that.
I think there's an interesting narrative, and I think this is to move this conversation along for the longevity. Like we're watching it happening now.
Yeah.
And then there'll be a generation, like you said, that's growing up and being like, oh, well, Caitlin Clark did this. There's a group of women, Paige, other people, Sabrina. I mean, all these people are like, okay, how many years down the road? And I'm not saying it's ever going to be toe to toe,
Right.
but is there a point in history where it gets pretty close?
Yeah.
You think so?
I probably not. I mean, I still think it's still a different brand of basketball to watch, right? For a hardcore basketball fan. I like watching women's basketball. I always have, because it's like a pure form of the game.
Fundamentals,
Versus like
for
the
sure.
NBA. I mean, outside of the playoffs, like you don't catch me watching a regular season NBA game, But like if I know Caitlin Clark's on TV, I'm turning it on. Like I'm watching it. But I still think, you're talking about building similar size arenas. They're in some interesting towns right now, but I do think Caitlin's played it well, and she understands kind of her role. Like you saw her presence at the Pacers games and the playoffs, and she knows how to be in the moment and a part of the city.
Marketable,
and
yeah.
That's right, 100%.
Building her brand, yeah, for sure.
I think they should lower the goals to 9 feet.
I was just about to say that.
Back up the 3-point
Really?
lines.
I was going to ask you if you
Really,
think that
though?
would help viewership.
Let's get
or
some dunks in
attendance
there.
or anything.
I mean,
Not
they already
that-
fight each other out there. Let's get some
It's a more physical game
Yeah.
than the NBA.
I mean,
I
Caitlin
agree.
Clark's like playing against the freaking bad boys from the Pistons
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Getting beat up.
Yeah.
That'd be more of an experiment, I think.
Do you really think that lowering it to 9 feet though would
I was just
make a
going to ask
difference?
the question because I know it's been floated out there in sports fandom,
Yeah.
but
I don't think they would want
Let's
that.
try it in the
though.
All-Star game and just see how it looks.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they would want that. I
Experiment. They
feel,
would
I feel
definitely
that they
take
would be.
offense to it.
Yeah, they'd be insulted by that.
It's also true.
That's what. Okay, so
Yeah.
for people listening, Bennett just said it's not what the players want; it's what would make the viewership more interesting.
Right.
And
I mean, they might be opposed to it at first, but if they're making a little bit more money because of viewership and they see it, the correlation there, then they might not care.
there have been
we could
players that have
start
like
adding-
argued against that though. But
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. It's an interesting. It's an
just
interesting
something to think
topic.
about.
Yeah,
If we start
for
getting
sure.
some Caitlin Clark poster highlights. Dude, I'm all for it. Like, if Caitlin Clark dunked on Angel Reese, I'd buy that poster and put
I
it
think
anywhere.
a lot of people would.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, Caitlin Angel Reese just gonna miss the rebound, and then Caitlin Clark should go be all boom.
Wow. Okay. Speaking of building a brand, John Calipari, legendary college basketball coach, Kentucky and now at Arkansas. He's been in the pros. He's been in college. Just
UMass, Memphis.
a big coach out there. So our question is John Calipari's player development more impressive than his win total?
See,
I'll let you go first on this one.
yes.
See? Yeah, I mean, so I got a whole new perspective on Calipari when I watched the 30 for 30 on him.
Yeah.
I grew up with Calipari at UMass, and there I thought, that's a program that since he's left has never been any good. I mean, you're talking about the 90s, and he's got Marcus Camby and Lou Rowe and this team he's rolling through the NCAA tournament with, and who's this like Italian guy with the slick hair coaching UMass, and so he's winning on a national stage at a place like UMass. Then he hops to the NBA, but I'll be honest, what he did at Kentucky, And I think we all understand this, given where we all live, that when you coach at a place like Duke or Kentucky or UNC, like the expectation is Final Four or bust pretty much every year.
Yeah.
Right? You can throw in UCLA and UConn and some of those blue bloods. And, Calipari, two things I'll say. One, he was way ahead of his time on the one and done train.
Yeah.
Right? Like he embraced that earlier than everyone else did, which is why I think they rose, won a title there, where Anthony Davis was probably the best one and done player of all time. That's my take. We can argue that if you want.
Yeah.
But they win a national title there. But I mean, the amount of guys, and I think some people think like it's easy to go recruit these top players in the country and then become lottery picks. Like, I don't agree with that at all, right? And I think the skill that it takes to bring together a collection of 5 stars like that,
Get them to play well together.
And make them play, develop them as a team,
right?
for sure.
Right.
In only 1 year.
And even as human beings, one of my favorite parts of that documentary is where he goes to get Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins. It took him like 3 days to get out there. Like they're in the middle of nowhere in a bad town, and then Boogie or Anthony Davis have never gotten in trouble. You can't name a Duke guy that's really gotten in trouble in the NBA or a Carolina guy that's gotten in too much trouble in the NBA. I think that's a part, right? I mean, even with Amani Bates, I don't know if y'all know who that is, but was the best player in the country in high school basketball. And then now he's been to 3 colleges later. He's been to a JUCO and he's played in the G League, but it's because he's kind of been in and out of trouble. Like, I think that level of coaching, and Calipari's guys have never had that problem.
No.
Yeah.
So Calipari is a winner. Like, let's be clear on that.
Yeah.
Like he's won at every place he's ever been, with the exception of the Nets, which nobody wins there. Right.
Nobody. Nobody.
But like he is a clear winner. But the way that his player development and his vision for being ahead of everyone else in college basketball, in my opinion, is way more impressive than his win total.
Yeah, I like that. I enjoyed that perspective of like, because I hand up accountability. I was one of those people that kind of didn't really see. I was like, okay, he's getting the talent. They're only staying for a year. I wasn't really seeing the correlation, but I enjoyed that perspective.
It's gotta be stressful as a head coach. Sorry to interrupt.
No, yeah, you're
like
good.
Just
Yeah,
going to recruit every year, just starting new.
because I never really thought about like the getting them to play together piece, and I thought that's a really good point. I've never been a huge Calipari enthusiast, but I've never disliked him. I've just kind of think that he's kind of always there. I think because he's only got the one national championship, right?
That's right. Yeah.
I think if maybe he had 2, 3, 4 of them, I would consider it more. I'm not saying that championships are everything. Like, obviously, player development from a human standpoint is one of the main priorities, or should be one of the main priorities in college athletics. But,
I mean, should he have won more? Probably.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
Like, and that's where I look at it from player development or team
Especially
success or chemistry. But I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent on this.
Yeah.
My favorite Kentucky year was, there's been a lot of good ones, but the Malik Monk, De'Aaron Fox year, that was just a human highlight season.
You talking about the one that lost to Luke May?
Yeah, and then when they even the game that when Malik Monk hit the buzzer beater early in the season against Carolina, I'm pretty sure.
That was an insane game.
Yeah, it was awesome.
103 to 100.
But I'm gonna drop some numbers on us. So, Coach Cal said 58 of his players been drafted, 41 first-round picks, 4 number 1 overalls, top 15 selections, 27, 28 are on current NBA rosters. 47 to 49 of those are from Kentucky. 35 of them were first-rounders from Kentucky.
I mean, you could take 10 Kentucky
Jeez.
guys in the NBA and win the championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily.
Like, you could
Yeah.
easily make a roster that
That could be a
compete
mini
for-
segment right there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, 100%. Even if we just, look at the biggest names we can think of off the top of our heads: Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Devin Booker, Anthony Davis. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
There you go. There's a solid starting 3.
Yeah.
You got 2
Yeah,
more in
that's a
there.
good
You're
big
like,
three.
team.
Yeah.
There's an unbelievable. Even the guys that have played like role plays. Even
well, you need those. That's part of it.
Even Malik Monk's like kind of role player vibe that he's had in the NBA. He's been a really good pro.
I mean, De'Aaron Fox. That you
Yeah,
just
De'Aaron
mentioned.
Yeah,
Fox,
De'Aaron Fox
I
has
mean,
been
he's-
fantastic.
And I
Yeah.
even think that some of them got the disadvantage of being so good in college that their NBA career took a hit because of who they got drafted by.
Yeah.
Like you think
that's a good
about
point.
a couple of those. God, I literally just had one in it.
Reed Shepard is one of them. I mean,
John
he-
Wall, thank you, John.
John
Yeah,
Wall.
Yeah.
John Wall. He gets drafted to the Wizards, and he's one of the best players in the NBA. Makes several All-Star teams, but because he didn't win, and Washington never won, like just kind of
Yeah,
he's in my opinion
he fell down
underrated.
the stairs.
100%.
Yeah.
You say he fell down the stairs.
That's how he tore his Achilles a couple years back.
Let's
Shout
go
out.
back. Let's go back. You said Anthony Davis, best player, best one and done.
One and
Yeah.
done. Yeah.
Okay.
Best in college or most like successful after college?
No college.
No,
the
he's
best
the best one and done.
One
so
and done
that season,
college player.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
you
And-
coming from a statistical like block standpoint? Because I mean, what did he have? Like
Yeah, I
200
mean, I'll
some
give-
blocks.
Yeah, he averaged 14, 10, and 4 that year, which doesn't sound all that impressive, right? But he had 186 blocks. That's the most blocks ever in a single season. He was national champion, Wooden Award winner, most outstanding player of the NCAA tournament, first team All-American, SEC player of the year, and SEC defensive player of the year.
He's
Like,
done his research.
I don't
the
know
Great
what
White
more-
came prepared.
I don't know what more you can do. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
really
true.
don't.
You're
That's
right.
100%
Yeah.
true.
There's one guy that I want to pick your mind about, and it's not. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna try to find his accolades real quick, but in terms of pure talent, which I think he's a top 10 talent guy ever. You're probably gonna hate me for this, but Michael Beasley as a one and done.
Oh
is,
my god!
dude, he was
His son
so
knows his
good.
father.
He was so good, man.
Like we didn't go to KD next. We go to Michael
No.
Beasley.
I said I wanted to pick your mind. Obviously, I could rip some obvious ones, right? KD, Zion. You know, I mean, even
Cooper.
Melo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Melo,
Cooper's
right.
up
And
there.
Melo, I
Yeah.
mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
but I just wanted to pick your mind on Michael Beasley because I think he's a guy that doesn't get a lot of praise because of he played at Kansas State, right?
Kansas State.
And then he goes and has kind of a
Disappointing NBA career.
disappointing NBA career. And so I just wanted to pick your mind because he was a really good college basketball player
He was fantastic.
and had a good tournament run.
Physical freak. I mean,
Yeah,
really versatile player. I think part of it probably hurt him. He played at Kansas State. To
Yeah.
your point,
Yeah.
I mean, at that time, that's the old Big 12. It was not
Yeah.
the Big 12
Right.
today.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know, man. Like I just the best to be in the conversation of one of the best one and dones ever. Knowing there's been one and dones that have a Melo or a Anthony Davis that have
yeah, KD.
basically taken their team to a national title as a freshman too.
Yeah.
Oh, legends.
That 2012 team
John
was
Wall.
that 12 team.
Yeah. For those listening, Bennett is off camera without a mic. He asked, "Who was Anthony Davis surrounded by?"
We should look up. Somebody should look up the lineup
Whew.
because I
You know
you-
who's on here? My man Kevin Love as one of the best one and dones ever.
that's true.
You know what? That's a guy that
That's a
doesn't get
good
his
one.
flowers, bro. He goes to Cleveland and and fits a role to make it better for the team. That guy was like a 27-12 guy in Minnesota.
He was.
He was a phenomenal NBA player.
He
that
was.
People don't give him flowers for.
Just got
Right.
released this year, I
I'm
think.
gonna read some names off.
Warriors should pick him up.
Okay, Anthony Davis, Duran Lamb, Michael Kidd Gilchrist, Terrence Jones, Marquise Teague, Darius Miller. Wow, it's not
Any of
as-
those getting you excited?
It's not nearly as many as I thought. Wow. So that was Anthony Davis.
Right.
Dang.
That right there, that clip right there should prove that point, in my opinion. Like,
Thank you, Stad.
I mean, okay,
I mean, they were
one-
young too.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 NBA guys, but okay, Duran Lamb, who?
Right.
Michael Kidd Gilchrist, role player.
Yeah.
Terrence Jones, yeah.
Okay, Michael Gilchrist.
Two
in college
two
was a
seniors,
stud.
one junior.
was.
He wasn't.
Also-
he wasn't a role player in college.
NBA. I'm talking about the NBA.
Oh well, I thought we were talking about their time in college.
I'm
we
just
are.
saying, like, they don't get me excited because I don't really know who they are because they weren't as successful as
well,
Anthony
in college.
Davis
He
in
was
the NBA.
nasty.
Well, yeah, but I mean, a lot of these names, I have no clue who they are.
yeah, same.
They were young too. I think it was. I'm looking at the roster. It's 2 seniors, 1 junior.
Yeah.
For what
Come
team?
on, for this 2011, 2012
that's
Kentucky
kind of
team.
when it started for Cal when he started. I mean, because he pumped out. You have like Kat and Devin Booker soon after that. De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk. Like they kind of went on a stretch where there was like early kind of maybe 2010 to 2016 ish. Probably
Yeah.
less than that. Probably like 2008 to 2013.
Yeah, and the national title thing is what gets me over the hump over Durant, right?
Sure.
Like,
That's why. That's why.
because
I
KD
argue-
was National Player of the Year. He was
Right, yeah.
Player of the Year in the conference. He was Defensive Player of the Year. But in true KD fashion, he, never can single-handedly lead a team to a championship.
Okay,
so.
I shoved this up your face the other day, and I'll do it again.
Wow.
We're bringing it back. All right.
I'll do it again.
We're tooting horns and we're shoving face.
You
Yeah.
want to hate KD's legacy? That's fine. Hate his legacy.
I
But
don't
a
think he
part of his
has one,
legacy-
so I don't hate
Okay,
it.
that's fine.
Wow.
But he's the all-time
Love
leading
that.
scorer in Olympic basketball, and he's won 4.
Okay, that's,
That means something. Winning
does.
for your country, that is something. And he shows up year in and year out. KD has showed up 4 years
For the Olympics, he has. Good
Yeah,
for
and
him.
that freaking means something.
no, it does. It 100% does.
And back to your boy
that's not
LeBron.
going to get him like.
He tried in Oklahoma City. He tried. He wasn't like
He
your
did.
LeBron
He
who
left.
took it to South Beach, and then he ends up taking it to the Warriors. But at least he tried. Like I don't
He
know.
did.
Just stop hating on my boy. He's the most skilled.
All right.
NBA, he's the most skilled guy to ever touch a basketball.
I don't disagree with that.
All right. And to close out this question before we move to our last question, do we think Calipari can get one at Arkansas?
No,
I don't think so.
No.
no.
All right, that was pretty quick. All right,
Yeah.
dang. All right. Yeah.
I just
Didn't
don't
say
think.
why.
I mean, he's getting one of the best high school. He has like the second best high school class rolling in, and I think he can drag a run together. But I don't know. I just don't really have belief in him right now. I have a lot more belief in frankly, what Danny Hurley's doing at UConn, or I think Shire's going to win a couple before he calls
Probably.
it. So my money's betting high on Shire winning for the next few years.
I mean, look, the SEC is like king at this point.
gauntlet.
Yeah,
right?
they
And
have to
it's-
be.
I mean, Arkansas's got plenty of money, which is really what it's about now, and getting players. So, can he consistently make a run because of their NIL money? 100%, right? But Arkansas is still a difficult place to get guys to come to, right? Like it is not easy to get to. And if you're being courted by Calipari, you're also being courted by Florida and Tennessee
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the rest
very
of
true.
the SEC.
I mean, look, does Cole have an offer from Arkansas?
No.
No.
But I mean, I think it even has something to do with, I always go back to this quote, but Coach Herb from the Miracles says, you're not looking for the best players, we're looking for the right ones.
100%.
And I think that takes a part into it. Like, I think when we look at what Shire just did with this past Duke team, even though they didn't win the national championship, or what the coach does at Houston, like, he has a
100%,
good
yeah.
connection of
does.
players.
Yeah.
And, like, when you look at Con Knipple and Cooper Flagg and Malawach, like, Malawach is not. He was turned into a lottery pick by Duke, and he was really good in South Sudan, but he didn't play that same role once he got to Duke. And
Yeah.
and I think that's just kind of similar. Like, we had DJ Wagner, big time high school prospect. Now he's going into like his third year in college. Nobody expected that. I mean, he's like a number 2 overall player in his class. So, not saying that's Calipari's fault, but I think there's a level of where he has to find the right guys to mesh with, and I don't think he's kind of found that yet at Arkansas. But with this number 2 recruiting class, that can change pretty quick.
Sure. I like
Okay.
that. That's a good point.
All right, moving on to our final question. I know this has been a lengthy episode, but going to the UNC Duke rivalry, are we saying the greatest players to ever
That's
touch
our-
the UNC Duke rivalry?
That is our question. Who is the greatest player within the UNC Duke rivalry? Like the most impactful player in the UNC Duke rivalry in college in that rivalry.
So is it best player or most impactful? Like those
think
are
that's
two
a-
different things.
yeah,
for
it's a-
me.
Let's go best player.
Best player, sure.
Best player.
Best player.
The
Want me to
best
go first?
freaking
You go.
player. Are we thinking of the same guy? Because I have his numbers lined up.
I have
in front
one
of
on
me.
each side.
I do too.
Okay.
I mean, for me, for Duke, like I've watched a lot. First of all, I'm a card carrying Duke hater, but
I love that. I love how you said.
but I have watched a lot of Duke basketball over the years,
Yeah.
and my personal opinion, and I'm sure this will. I actually think this is the best college basketball player since 2000 is Jay Williams.
Yep.
Let me read. Can I read his numbers?
I got numbers,
Okay.
but yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. I didn't know
Hey,
you had
Great
it up.
White passing
I
it
know
up,
you had
letting
it
us
up.
Be
see if I
my
can get the
stats
numbers
guy.
in. Yeah,
So his
yeah, yeah.
freshman year, he averaged 14.5 points. Sophomore year, averaged 21. Junior year, averaged 21. Rebounds 6, 6, and 6. Or that was assist. And then he was a ACC Rookie of the Year, National Freshman of the Year, Naismith finalist sophomore year, Naismith and Wooden Awards, and his jersey was retired his junior year.
Yeah. I mean, 2-time first team All American, 2-time first team All ACC, 2.5 steals a game for his career, which is a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just. I love a killer. Like I'm a hardcore Kobe fan. Like I love a guy. It's my biggest struggle with LeBron. Like I love a guy that like wants the ball and is a killer in a big game, and that was Jay Will. Like
Right.
he, at his size, I always felt like he was the most difficult player to guard. The ball was in his hands all the time. Like he was. I think he's the best player in college basketball in that time, and I hate he got hurt and didn't get to show that in the NBA.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to say. I think a lot of people forget about how good Jay Williams was. I mean, just if you don't know, just go back and watch some highlight tapes. But like, people were having the Jordan comparison with Jay Williams because of how good he was and how like he could take over a game instantly, and nobody could have any say about it. Just in his record against North Carolina, he was 7-1 against North Carolina, and he was 2-0 in the ACC tournament against Carolina. Yeah.
Dang.
In his 8 games, he averaged 22 and 5 assists, so 22 points, 5 assists, and he also had 3 30-point games.
Killer.
Yeah.
He was a killer.
Yep.
Showed up in the games that mattered.
Yeah.
All right, just for the sake of the conversation, though, if we have to take a Carolina guy,
I've got Hansbrough pulled
Yeah.
up. The 4
it's hard not to take Hansbrough.
Yeah, I mean 4-0 at Cameron, never lost on the road in the rivalry. If we're going off of just the personal accomplishments, he's a champion. He's got his jersey retired.
All-time
4-time
leading scorer.
consensus All-American. He Naismith Player of the Year, Wooden Award, Rupp Award. 2007-8 ACC Player of the Year, 4-time All-ACC, ACC Freshman of the Year, ACC Tournament MVP. 2005-6 ACC Rookie of the Year, and 3-time All-ACC Tournament.
And the all-time leading scorer at maybe
And
the
the
greatest
all-time
college basketball program ever.
Right. So that's kind of Carolina's side of it, I think. I'm sure you could go back, into the 60s, 70s, and 80s and find somebody who did just as good, if not better, against Duke. But because, Duke wasn't very good before K got there. But that's, you can say recency bias all you want. I know my dad might say that, but Phil Ford. Anyway.
I don't think there's an argument. Like,
Yeah, I
really
just don't. I
Like,
don't.
Numbers are one thing, but he was another guy that like just put that team on his back, And what I loved about him is you knew watching him for 4 years that he wasn't going to be a good NBA player.
Oh, yeah.
Like you just knew, But
Yeah.
like he was so committed to the college game. He played with such emotion. He was so physically tough. Like
Yeah.
never got hurt. Like he was.
Yeah. And I think
That's how you put up numbers like that.
Broke his nose and kept going.
Gerald Henderson.
Yeah.
Golly.
But the other Carolina names that I have, and there is one little 56, 57 guy.
Lenny Rosenbluth, isn't it?
Yeah, he had a 40-point game.
Yeah.
In 57. But Eric Montross, Phil Ford, Jerry Stackhouse, and Rasheed Wallace, who we saw not too long ago.
We did.
Rasheed Wallace did play well against Duke.
Yeah. And then a couple of the other Duke names that I found. Bobby Hurley,
Yeah.
all-time assists leader, 1,076, led Duke to back-to-back national championships. And when most people talk about the all-time starting Duke, he's usually the point guard. J.J. Redick, Grant Hill, and Nolan Smith. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the Dean Dome the night that Stackhouse came up and under and dunked.
That was in
Cameron.
Cameron.
Oh, my
Cameron.
gosh.
Yeah.
But he was there.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was
no.
there. I was there.
It was
I
the
was there. I
coolest
went
thing
to
ever.
both games that year.
That was the double overtime.
yeah.
Like everybody remembers it for the Stackhouse dunk and the Capel buzzer
half-court
beater.
shot.
Yeah. And people forget. Like some people watch that and they're like, "Oh, Capel won the game." No, that tied it. That sent it to overtime. So
That's
anyway.
my favorite Carolina team ever.
Yeah, that's a really good team. Rasheed Wallace had 7 dunks in that game. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say Hansbrough and then Jay Williams. And this is going to sound crazy. It's coming from a Carolina fan. It's coming from a diehard Carolina fan. It's really hard to pick against Jay Williams.
Yeah.
It really is. As much as I want to pick Hansbrough.
Exclusively in the rivalry, though.
Yeah, exclusively in the rivalry. As much as I want to pick Hansbrough and as much.
or not exclusively in the rivalry.
Yeah, I don't.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay Williams was the best player in college basketball for back-to-back years.
Yeah.
And he has the ball in his hands the entire game.
Correct,
pretty
yes.
much, right?
Yeah.
I love Hansbrough, but there's a part of the game he didn't have to deal with.
That's
right?
true.
Very true. Very true.
It's a good point.
Yeah, he wasn't a great
Are we
perimeter
going to
ball
talk like
handler.
coach here? Like, who's the best coach in this rivalry?
No, but
Real quick,
we
everybody go.
did talk about this. ChatGPT shouted out Dean Smith, Roy Williams, Krzyzewski.
Man,
I mean, y'all can
I
probably
mean,
guess
time
what I'm
will
thinking.
tell. I don't think Hubert is going to be one of those all times. I think.
I don't think
What?
Hubert will be there in
No.
2 years.
I know. I know.
Let's
That's
just
what I'm
talk
saying.
about
That's
Roy
what I'm saying.
Williams,
But
Dean
like,
Smith, and Mike Krzyzewski.
Yeah.
No shot.
no.
but you don't think Shire eventually gets into that conversation?
No, I know, but just as of right now, that's who this coach's argument's about.
Can I just put it to
Okay.
you this way? So, if let's say what year did Shire start?
2023.
Okay, so for most college basketball programs, winning 20 games in a season is a
Solid year.
above average year.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
right.
Yep.
In order to win as many games as Coach K won at Duke, you'd have to win 20 games a year for 54 years.
Easy go.
So no, Shire's not going to be in the
Okay,
conversation.
there you go.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
a very good point. There you go.
Hubert definitely.
Definitely not.
We're struggling to get to 20 right
yeah.
now.
Yeah, right.
I think that's an interesting question just because of the timeline and how long Dean Smith was at Carolina before K got there. I mean, Duke was.
Yeah.
Think about the Carolina Duke football conversation now and how we talked about that earlier, where like the main reason why I was mad we lost to Duke this year is because they haven't been very good recently.
they suck.
And that was how the Carolina Duke rivalry kind of was until K got there. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But like Dean Smith and Carolina, like it pounded Duke. And just because like Duke wasn't Duke. And then as soon as Danny Ferry gets there, K gets there, he gets that first team and Jay Billis to kind of, get over that hump. Then it's like, Dean Smith kind of takes a backseat to K just a little bit.
I mean, 20% of the games Coach K coached at Duke, they were ranked number 1 in the nation.
yeah.
That's freaking
That's an insane stat.
There's a lot of
crazy.
stats. There's a lot of
He's the
stats out
goat.
there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
As much as I hate to say it,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. But send him home packing. So,
Yeah.
for sure.
all right.
What's his all-time record against Carolina?
I don't know.
I can look that up.
Let's check that.
Any guesses?
It's probably closer than you think.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, it was really tight right after he left.
It was, yeah.
There's no way that's right.
What does it say?
50 and 50.
No, that can't be. There's no way he retired.
I'm pretty
with it
sure.
being
I'm
dead
pretty sure
even.
that was part of that
It
final
was,
year.
yeah.
So that might be there's very chance that's true.
Okay, this is like the Google AI assistant that says overall record against UNC is 50 and 50. This
Yeah.
includes both regular season and tournament games. In the regular season, he's under 500, 39 and 45. Depending on how you look at that, he's over 500 in the postseason at 11 and 4.
Yeah.
11-4 though,
But-
in the postseason,
Tough.
that's
11
That's
and
when it
3,
matters.
11 and 3 when you think about it, because that's all ACC tournament, and they only had one.
They only had
meeting.
one
So he's
matchup
11
in
and 3 in the ACC tournament against Carolina.
Yeah.
They only ever met once in the NCAA
Yeah.
tournament. 0 and 1 in the NCAA tournament.
And how many national championships did he win?
5. Dean had 2. Roy had 3.
13
So
Final
he's the
Fours.
goat. Yeah, he's the goat.
dang. That's
15,
crazy when you really
30
put it
win
in.
seasons.
Yeah,
30
That's
win.
crazy.
30
30 win
win.
season.
That's
That's
41
insane.
first round
Yeah,
picks.
he's the greatest of all time. That's like a clear number one for the greatest coach ever.
It's not close.
yeah.
And he did it at the same place, which is
Yeah, he didn't
better.
leave.
Huh?
Oh, that's true.
Probably was he? He wasn't a part of the. He was
He
part
was
of the
an
dream team,
assistant on the dream team.
and then he
So 2 or
coached every team up till this past year.
And
with
he was
her.
a part, more importantly, he was a part of like the redesign of USA basketball.
Mhm.
6, by the way.
Yeah, so I was gonna say you might have 5 or
Wow.
6.
Dang, look at that career.
5 or 6
man.
Olympics.
And that
5
sums
national
up the
championships.
episode there.
Yeah, dang. All right, Gibbs, close us out. Close us out here, Gib. Dang.
So yeah, my pops was on TV today or on the channel today. Please let us.
News.
We hope you like it. If you like it, we're planning on bringing him back later in the month for the MLB trade deadline. If you like this interviewing and we want more people, or if you just want a full blown interview with our next time we bring somebody on to learn more about them, please let us know. But thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Get to class on time.